Hi everyone, Abdul Hafiz here. In the last session, we have gone through with what is cloud computing and traditional data center concepts in DC locations. Now today we are going to see cloud models provided by CSP, means here cloud service providers. So here we have different types, different cloud service providers like AWS, Azure, Microsoft, and GCP. Alibaba, IBM. So most of the CSP will provide infra as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay. First, we will go through with infrastructure as a service, IaaS. Consider one organization or client need to install Oracle database. So first of all, what they require data center or hardware resources. They don't have the data center or they don't have any hardware resources. Now what they did, they create a account in AWS. Now they need to have one server. So first of all, to install DB server, what I need? Hardware resources like CPU, RAM, and storage means compute, and we need OS, operating system. So here in AWS, we have one service. That service name is EC2, Elastic Cloud Compute. From here, we can have all these resources, even network. EC2 comes under infrastructure as a service. Now, I'm going to install our client Oracle database. They have their own license, means they are carrying their own license. You know what they will do? They will install database here. So here they have the data. The size depend on their requirement. Okay. So here, example, we have one layer. This layer we call here, we have example. These all are hardware resources. This one we can call, it's a physical layer. Fine. We'll go and see. I will show you the live example. So just log into AWS console. So here we have different types of services. Now what I need a Linux server. So here in compute section, we have EC2. Just understand the concept of infrastructure as service. Here I'm not going to teach you how to install the Linux server or how to launch a EC2 server. Just give the name Linux server. So from here you can choose your instance type. So here we are going to have Amazon Linux because we need to have Amazon Linux. I mean, it's Linux operating system. The type of hardware resources, 64-bit or 32-bit, whatever you want. Then we have instance type. Here instance type means server types like configuration, like here the family is T2. Then here we have one CPU, 1 GB RAM memory. This is a free tier eligible. Then we need to have a key pair. Key pair will use for authentication purpose. Then what we required? We required network. So here I have some different VPCs. I will go through with this network. Then you have to enable the public IP. Then we have security. I mean security to protect your servers, right? Then here we have all traffic I'm going to allow. In testing environment, we are going to allow all traffic, but in real time, we don't do like this. And later on, I will upload more videos. In that videos, I will show you about security group. It has separate session. At least it will go through the 2 hours of session, how we are going to manage in real time, how we are going to assign security. Then advanced network configuration. In this advanced network configuration, you can go and you can give the IP address of your server. If you don't assign, even though it will take. Fine. Instance types means I will show you. Here we have T2.nano, T2.micro, T2.small, whatever the requirement you have. Example, if the requirement is high, if the client is asking for 4 GB CPU, 4 CPUs, and 32 GB RAM, then we can go for T2.x/, T3.nano. It's just same like what I can say that i3, i5, i7. Yes, you can compare with laptop's configuration, but server configuration is different and the laptop configuration is different. That is our consumer model, and that is these all are commercial models. Now T2.micro comes under free tier. We will go through with this session, don't worry. Now you just understand the concept of infrastructure as a service. See here, this is the storage. So here in free tier, you will get 30 GB of storage. So to install database, example, I required 30 GB. So I'm going to give you 30 GB. See here we just took AWS EC2 server, right? We had taken operating system, OS, Linux, IME. See here, sir. So here on OS, on operating system, what you have to do on OS, we have to provide, security. Means server hardening we need to do. Means like user user level security we have to provide, right? Then OS level patching, fine. Then to who is authorized person to install this database, and all those things we are going to manage in user level. On operating system I'm going to talk about. Okay, then next, on database side, who is going to manage this database? Means client or end user, you can say. Yeah, client or end user. So they will set some threshold, like for backups, incremental backup, BKPs means backups. Fine. Okay. Now our server is ready. Now understand the concept of infrastructure as a service. Fine. These all are data details. This is called metadata. EC2 metadata. Metadata means data about data is known as metadata. See here. This is my instance ID, public IP address. I did not assign any private IP address to my server, but it took from my VPCs subnet pool. Okay. Then we have public IP for DNS. So now networking, storage, status check, monitoring, then who is going to manage all these things? Because see, this is my account example. You're working in XYZ company. Now in XYZ company, you got a requirement from the client. Client is asking to install database server. So you're not a DBA admin. So what is your duty? Or what is your task? You just have to create a EC2 server and hand over this server to the client. You will give access this access to a DBA team. Fine. So now what is your duty? You have to check it out. Your security, networking, storage. These all the things you need to take care. Example, or sometimes DBA will also handle this kind of stuff. Okay, it depends how many teams are running in their organization. Here, the thing is that in infra as a service, as a service, what is our duty? What we are going to handle? See, virtually, if example database got full, means we need more storage. We need more storage. Simple. What I am going to do? I will go here and I will increase my size, right? From here, storage section, you can go and you can increase the size. Example on networking, you can provide the security to whom you are going to allow, means port numbers and all those things. Sorry, right. Fine. Then we have a monitoring. What is about CPU utilization, status check, fail. On disk level, you can do monitoring in bytes and out bytes. This is different stuff. But example, we need more storage, right? As a AWS guy, what you are going to do or what we are going to do, we will increase the storage, right? Fine. Then here the thing is that virtually I have access. Virtually, example, this is a user, AWS user. We have virtual access, right? We can stop or start or reboot the instance, means server. Okay. But here, this is my hardware resources. Okay. If something goes wrong on hardware resources, then who is going to manage this? Means physically. Here, if anything goes wrong, AWS will take care, means CSP, cloud service provider. But if something goes wrong here, you stop the server and you are telling that my server is not working, then who is responsible? AWS is not responsible for this part. AWS is only responsible for hardware resources. For one more example, I would like to give you. So here the hardware component AWS is using, example, hard disk is WD hard disk. Now you're asking to AWS or CSP, so that I don't want to use WD hard disk. I want to have Samsung hard disk. Then AWS will tell you, sir, whatever the physical components we have, you have to use that components only. We can't replace just for the sake of you only. Okay. This is called infrastructure service. But one more point here. So if anything goes wrong on Oracle side, if anything goes wrong in database side, DB side, when software expire, license expire, database loss, then who is going to responsible? Your client. Client is responsible. Okay. AWS is not going to take any responsibility for this Oracle database. Fine. This is called infrastructure service. At end of this session, I will give you one example also. In that example, you will understand. Then we have platform as a service. Example, in platform as service, what they will do, platform as service, they will provide a platform like RDS, relational database service. And one more service we have, that is Elastic Bean Stack. that is platform as service. And for in Azure, we have Azure Active Directory. Consider there is a company like Flipkart or Swiggy. They have their own applications. They have their applications and they are asking to AWS, sir, I don't have any database or I don't have any license. Example, the application is Java based application. Okay, Flipkart to design this in 3.2, just for an example, they're using 3.2 version of Java. Now, as a AWS admin, associate, or solution architect, mostly this thing will designed by the solution architect. You just get the requirement we have to fulfill as an admin or associate. Now, we have one service. That service name is RDS, Relational Database Service. Here, what we are going to suggest, example, I will suggest go through with MySQL. Okay, I will show you. This is the platform as service, RDS. So it's a managed relational database service. So here we have multiple databases. Fine. So if you go through with this image, so here, what is our duty? We have to check operating system, right? We have to take care OS level patching. We have to take care the security of operating system. Fine. This thing we need to take care, right, sir? But in platform as a service, we don't know what type of server they are going to use. Okay. So here simple in platform as service, right? Here we don't bother about operating system. In PaaS, here we don't bother about management of OS. Okay. So here what we have to do. Here we take backup on daily basis or incremental. They will set the frequency. Okay. So here one more thing we have to take care. Authorization. We have to take care. Who has access on database and DB tables. Fine. Example here I have my database, MySQL database. So what I will do, I will create a database here. Create DB. Example Flipkart. Example purpose, sir. Fine. Once we create this part we have to take care. Backups. And one more thing we have to select. What we have to select means we are going to see how much requirement, how much DB size requirement means requirement. Fine. Next, here the mistake. Here we have to check the size of DB database. Fine. Network speed. NW means network speed. Like example 5 Gbps. Fine. As per our requirement. Requirement of Flipkart database. Fine. This is the Java based. Okay, fine. This version is working on 3.2, Java based version 3.2. Now with the connectivity and everything. Now the thing is that, for an example, after some time, they are telling example they are going to use 8.2 version. 8.2 version. See, here we have Aurora database, Aurora MySQL compatible, Aurora MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server. So here we are just going to check. Example, I'm going to select MySQL. So here we have engine version, means version ID. Like we are going to have 8.0.32. Then for what purpose you are going to use production, dev, free tier. Then what we need to take care, passwords and all those things. Then server configuration. Then storage capacity, means storage types. Then allocated storage, how much storage you need to have for your database. Then provision IOs. We are going to take care about IOs also. This is called input output per second, speed. Then connectivity, then network, VPC security firewall, DB subnet group. We will learn, okay, about all these things. It's RDS a separate service, but just to understand the concept of platform or service, we are going through with this one, okay? Performance and all those things, retention period of your backup. This thing we have to take care. But the thing here, I need to tell you one thing. Example, after some time, they upgrade this version, upgraded that. Okay, fine. On to latest version of Java. Now, they are telling that, sir, this example, this is your client. They are telling, sir, this is not compatible with our latest version. Then now they are looking for example purpose, sir, 9.2 version. Now, I'm going to check it out in MySQL RDS service. But this 9.2 version is not available. Okay, this version is 9.2 is not available. Then what I need to do now? Now AWS will suggest you, sir, this version is not available in RDS service. Now what you need to do? In this case, what we have to do, we have to go and select infra as a service. In infrastructure as a service, we have different types of AMIs. In that AMIs, you can go through with that one. Okay. Means as per our requirement, we can choose it. Okay. Here in infrastructure service. So here in platform as a service, whatever the softwares or whatever the application is available in RDS, we can choose that one only. So this is called platform as a service. Okay. Here OS means we don't know what operating system they are going to use, right? OS will take care by cloud service provider. Fine. I hope you understand the concept of infrastructure service, platform as a service, and now we are going to see software as a service. That is the last one. I hope everyone have idea about a Gmail drive. For an example, you have a Gmail drive. Now, what you are going to do with the Gmail drive? You upload your data, right, on daily basis, your documentation, images, whatever we have in your mobile phones on daily basis, we will upload. So in free tier, you are going to have 15 GB. Once it get full, then we will get email notification and right. So we need to upgrade it. So might be 130 or 140 rupees per month to get more storage, like 100 GB of storage you're going to get. Sir, are you going to bother about who is going to manage, right? What type of operating system they are going to use, what is the network speed? No, right? So here in SaaS, here in software as a service, this is called software. Here we don't bother about management, just pay and use, just pay and use it. So one more example here in AWS, we have one service. That service name is SNS and SCS, simple notification service, simple email service. So we don't have idea what Gmail is using. Like same here also, we don't have any idea about what SNS is using. Okay, what software SCS is using, right? So this is called software as service. This is called platform as service, and this is called infrastructure as a service. Where infra, right? This is called infrastructure service. So one thing here we have to notice, sir. Okay, in traditional data center. Okay, I will do one thing. If you don't to understand this whole concept, you have to go through with my first video also. But in description link also, I'm going to provide about my first video of in right traditional data center. Fine. Here, everything Flipkart has to manage, means organization has to take care virtually, physically, everything. This is very tough, right? This model is very tough. In cloud, example, we will take the example of infra as a service. Here, hardware resources, physically they are going to manage, means cloud service will provider will take care this part, physical layer. But infra layer, we need to take care. Infrastructure as a layer, we have to take care, right? This is very simple. So the thing is that people who are going to start their new organization, so they are not going to invest lakhs of amounts or huge amounts in just in data centers. Simple, they can go and they can create a account in AWS and they can start up their companies. So monthly depend how many servers are they are going to use, what type of network they are going to use, what type of storage, means S3 or SC, EFS, multiple storage services are there. It depends. So example, if it's a new startup company, so they can get the bill of 40 to 50,000 per month. It depends. Okay, fine. This is all about infrastructure service, platform as service, software as service. Fine. So if you have any queries, anything, you can text me. Fine. Do one thing. Please note it down whatever I have says. Fine. In notes. That is the best method to learn anything. Right. So here we have gone through with infra as a service, platform as service, and software as service. So here in the last one, I will give you one more example. So here it will get more clear. See, this is the on-premises means traditional data center concept. Here in on-premises, application, data, runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, till networking, you have to manage, right? Here we have to manage everything. This is called traditional data center. Everything. But in infrastructure as service, application, data, runtime, middleware, operating system, we have to take care. But there are multiple things are there, right? In data center, virtualizations are there, servers are there, storage is there, networking is there, right? They will take care in infrastructure as service. In platform as service, we just have to take care application and data. Then all these things, runtime to networking, they will manage. Who will manage? CSP, cloud service provider. Then in software service, application till networking, they will manage. Other managers means Orange color means CSP. CSP would be AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle, anyone can be. Okay, sir. Then you manage means AWS admin associate or solution architect. Means we are the user of AWS. Whoever the user of AWS, he will manage these things. Okay, fine. Okay, here one more thing you have to do. Just go through with this video. AWS data center. Okay, you will get at least ID of data center. Fine. So please terminate the instance because I just stopped the instance. Here you have to terminate it or else you will get the bill. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching the video. I will upload more videos on this channel. Thank you so much.